So my students are studying at UMBC's ELI. They're college age, and most of them are planning to go to US universities. But they have varying proficiency levels. I tend to teach the high beginning to low intermediate students, and they come from all different countries, but I would say the majority of them are native Arabic speakers. And so the activities that I really like that we read about first in the Seymour and Walsh chapter about planning a lesson, they had one idea about handing out homework answers at the beginning of class and letting students check their own answers, and then going over questions they might have. And that really appealed to me. I don't like spending a whole lot of time going over homework answers, and so I think this is efficient. Also, I am taking a class right now where the teacher kind of does this. She hands out the homework answers, but then she collects our homework before we have time to check, so we have to make copies, and then we can check the answers later. And by the time I get around to checking my answers, I've kind of forgotten about it, and I feel like I would appreciate just a few minutes in class to look at the answers and then ask any questions. So I thought that was a good solution. The other activities I liked were from the Michalecki book. I think that she has some really good suggestions for just practical activities and also some fast activities. So in the chapter on improving reading speed, I really liked the activities about noticing words in a line, like looking for a keyword in a row of words, or looking for the word that's different, or looking for a phrase. I think this would be a really good way to improve reading rate, and also, just to show students that it is possible to read a word at a time. You don't have to sound out every letter always, and a good way to get them to be reading in chunks. I think this would be a great warmer and really easy to create, so it could be fast and simple and something you do a lot. And then as far as extensive reading, I just really like the ideas about, the literature circle I think is really cool. Graded readers in class, and this idea of having class time devoted to silent reading. I think it sends a message that this is important, reading is important, and we're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes as a class just sitting here reading, and the teacher also reads with them and is a reading role model. And I like the idea of having a chart to keep track of extensive reading, one that includes goals. So the student would say, I want to read, this many hours a week or this many pages a week, and then they can keep track of what they're actually doing. And I think that would be a really good confidence booster. And one question I have is, I'm wondering how much to allow students to use translators. I tend to not allow them at all. I tell students that if they have a question about a word, they can ask me, but I don't know if that's the best practice. Maybe there are times when it's good for them to pull out a translator. So if anybody has insight or ideas about that, I would appreciate hearing it. Thanks.